Reading is fun and math is great, but now it's time for art with Miss Kate.
Buenos dias, artistas. Hello, artists. Thank you for the ukulele version of our theme song, John. Emmylou the art dog and I are going to teach you about the Ndebele painted houses today. The Ndebele live in the Kalahari desert, and that spans South Africa and Botswana and a couple other countries. This is how you write the word Ndebele. Here's the Kalahari desert, and it is over Botswana and South Africa. And I pulled up a map on my computer because I don't have a map in my home. So they're from right around here, this part of the world. Okay? Now, besides painting their homes on the outside with large symmetrical designs, they also do beadwork and weaving. But we're just going to focus on the painting today. And you might see some beads in the book, and you may see some weavings too. The book is called My Painted House, My Friendly Chicken and Me, and it's written by Maya Angelou, and the photographs are by Margaret Courtney Clark, who's from Botswana originally, but now lives in Italy. So here two girls are leaving their school, so they don't just paint their homes. This is the school, and the outside is painted. Hello, stranger friend, I'm Tandy, an Ndebele girl in South Africa. I'm 8 years old, and my best friend is a chicken. You may laugh at that, but when I tell my friend secrets, she can talk all she wants. No one can understand her except another chicken, of course. My chicken not only listens to my stories, she has other uses. If you play with her and take her mind off what's going on, you can quickly, very quickly, snatch a feather or two when she's distracted. She doesn't notice, and the feather will come in handy later, of course. I have two hopes. One is my name, Tandy, which means hope in my language. All children are hope for their families, and many Ndebele girls are named Hope. If you like, you can call yourself Hope, too. In secret, of course. Especially if you're a boy, of course. The other hope I have is that by the end of this book, I can say goodbye, friend, not goodbye, stranger friend. I don't know why, but Ndebele people do not call anything beautiful. They will say that the best thing is good. All Ndebele women paint their homes, and I want you to know, stranger friend, no one's house is as good as my mother's. She has started to teach me to paint good, very good designs. So these are all the outsides of their houses. We tend to put artwork on the inside of our houses and have the outside be kind of plain. It's the opposite in Ndebele culture. You have to have strong eyes to paint good, and your hand must not shake like a leaf on a tree, for you must fill a chicken's feather with paint and draw a line as straight as a spear. So they don't use pencil when they're planning these out, and they don't use tools like rulers, and they paint with the feather of their chickens. You must have a pattern inside your head even before you dip the feather into paint. Your hand must be steady to make the pattern sharp, and your legs must be strong because sometimes the walls are high. My mother and her sister sit by the fire in winter or in the summer under shade trees, and they make good things with beads. They tell stories as they sort and string and sew. My mother lets me watch her, and very soon I shall be making the amafotho, a beaded apron, and the gabi, the fringed loin flap, and they will be so good that when I dance, the stars will dance with me. My father built us small houses, and my mother painted them. We pretend that we can become small and go outside and have our meal. In my village, the children play with penny whistles. So here they have basically like our equivalent of a dollhouse. And when they're children, they practice painting their dollhouses in a symmetrical manner. And bicycles. Some are so shy they try to lose themselves in their mother's blankets. Notice that they've even decorated their bicycle. Some just sit back deep inside themselves and look out at the world. When my friends and I go to school, we wear the uniforms Father bought in town. So that's their school painted. But when we come home, we start jumping and laughing because we can take off those dull, dry clothes and put on our beads again and look very good. Sometimes I go to the city with my mother and sisters and aunts in a wagon pulled by 4 mules. The women wear their best blankets and best neck rings and very good leg rings, of course. I'm always happy to see the city people stare at my mother and relatives because the city folk have nothing so good as the Ndebele women. Their houses are all one sad color, and the women I see have no beads at all. I feel sorry for them, and I give them a good smile. It must help because they laugh. I wonder, are little brothers in your village as mischievous as my little brother? He wears a sun cap because he's supposed to tend sheep, but he's so mischievous that sometimes I would like to give him away. To someone far, far away. To a good person, of course. He tries to get into everybody's business and even wants to make a chicken his best friend. He will never succeed, mainly because you have to know how to speak to animals, and my brother can't help shouting, and of course the chicken runs away. Now, about my very friend, the chicken. She runs from me only when she's on her own errands, but when she's free I take her in my arms and tell her that, nope, I can't tell you, because you're not a chicken. I've enjoyed telling you about my village, my mother, and my squirmy brother, the beads and the painted houses, and my good friend the chicken. You may call me friend, and I would like to call you friend, and if we ever meet, I will let you hold my chicken, and she will keep your secrets safe. You know why, of course. So if you have access to a computer and you Google Ndebele painted houses, you can see a lot of them, and it's really quite something. They're very large. In Ndebele culture, when you get married, you don't go live on your own. Your mom and dad build onto their compound, and so your house gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Here is one that I did with paint stick. Here is one that I did with cray-pa. And here is one that I did with tempera paint. Okay? So what you're going to do to create a symmetrical design is fold your paper in half this way or the other way. Since I did two like a book, I'll do this one like a hot dog bun. And symmetry means same on both sides. Many things are symmetrical. Butterflies are symmetrical. This table is symmetrical. We're symmetrical the long way. Symmetry is very, very common in nature. It's a math term, but it's also an art term. And the Ndebele women apparently are very fond of symmetry because they make their houses symmetrical. I'll do this example in marker because more people have markers than the other supplies I listed. And I think I'm just going to skip my pencil step and do Sharpie. You can do yours in pencil first if you wish. I'm going to do Sharpie only so you can see. I was watching some of my videos and I realized that when I draw in Sharpie, in pencil, it is really tough for you guys to see. I can see it fine, but you can't, so I'm going to try to remember that from now on. I'm trying to get better at doing my Art at Home series. I've never done anything like this before, so it's a learning experience for me. And so it's the same on both sides. And then you have symmetry, a math word and an art word. Now when you color it in, the Ndebele also painted, they use color symmetrically too. You don't have to, you're the artist. You can make changes if you wish. You don't have to copy them exactly. You don't have to copy me exactly. And if you want to look at actual Ndebele home paintings, just go to Google Image, Ndebele painted homes, and you can even copy a real home's design if you wish. What I think is the most interesting is that A, only girls do it, only women do it. It's a female art form. B, the girls practice on their doll houses, their little tiny houses. And C, they use chicken feathers, and they don't use rulers, and they don't draw it out in pencil first. And these are enormous murals. Because remember, in Ndebele culture, when you become an adult and you marry, you don't move away. Your parents build onto their compound. So some of these buildings are really, 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 really big that you see painted. They're not small homes, they're very large homes. And I would just keep going until my paper is filled. In this one you can see I left a little bit of white because I thought it looked fine. You can do that if you want. I liked it. The Ndebele women do leave some white on their homes, so that's certainly your choice. And if you use your marker at an angle, it makes wider lines, and if you use it more upright, it makes narrower lines. And I noticed that the Ndebele women, when they paint their compounds, often alternate warm and cool colors. We've talked about that before. So red is a warm color, the colors of the sun, red, orange, yellow, and pink. And purple is a cool color, the colors of the ocean, blue, green, and purple. They often did that, and I'm sure it's because it makes the colors stand out more. And if you want a more subtle version, you would put warm next to warm and cool next to cool. Okay, my friends, we're going to pretend that I'm done so you can get to work, so my lesson isn't too long. I miss you all. I hope you decide to look up Ndebele culture. I think it's quite fascinating. Bye-bye.